making a speech, right? Making a speech. So today let's continue with picking up from what we have left off yesterday. We are looking at, let me share the screen. Okay. We have talked of the importance of visual aid. Visual aid in aiding or making our presentation or helping our presentation. Is this visual aid is very important. Any speaker giving or delivering a speech would have some kind or at least one visual aid to enforce, to help, to support his or her delivery, speech delivery. So let's look at step 4 again. Step 4 is making the visual aids. All right. As according to Azmin et al. 2021, visual aid enhances the effectiveness of presentation. That's why there's a need for any presenter to have the visual aid ready. Okay, the visual aid ready. All right. Okay. To help with the presentation, the effectiveness of the present, and visual aid is very important. That it is used to strengthen a point, to support your point, to give evidence to your point. So it can, if you prepare well for your speech, meaning that you can prepare in advance. If you prepare for the speech from A to Z, meaning that from the intro, from the body to the conclusion, each section of the speech, you can plan of what kind of visual aid are you going to put in each of these sections. Okay? Right. Let's look at the types of the single chart, of the visual aid that you can use. All right, there's some of the all the slides after this are going to be looking at the kinds of charts and that will work as your visual aid. If we happen to see the video of the second speaker yesterday, and the speaker brought in one waste bin on the floor of the stage, and then he used a rose, one rose, okay, one piece, one rose, one bloom of rose, and then that the real thing that you bring as the visual aid in the video is called a realia. So a realia can be used if you want to have that as the visual aid. Okay, so what we are going to look at now are the types of visual aids, and then these are all the things that you can use. These are some of the things. I would say not all. It can just be anything for the visual aid. For example, if you have, if you have like if you're going to give a talk for a career day, for example, a career day, then you would be bringing your tools into the session, into the event, so that you can share the kind of tools that you work with as your visual aid. Or for example, This might not happen in a Malaysian school, right? When schools overseas, where you have the for example, like Father's Day, or bring your parents to school, and then the children would actually bring their parents to school, and then the parents that came to school for the program of bring your parents to school is considered as a visual aid, right? As considered as a visual aid, because it helps in the presentation. Uh, so in short, there are so many things that you can bring into any event or any session when you deliver your speech to help with your presentation. So this, again, coming back to this slide, like okay, you have visual aid, and then this the type, and this type with a single chart. If you have a single chart for your presentation, the purpose is to visualize data on a given subject topic. Okay, this is the sample of the single chart where you have, this is a simple bar chart that will show the numbers, and the numbers for each of the things that you, if you have a point that requires emphasis, this would be a good visual aid to help you in emphasizing your point. Okay, right. This is a single chart. This single chart, okay, can also be the charts can also be mixed. Mixed chart mean that you can have the bar chart and the line chart, and then right, to show similar or related data in different charts. And this is the example. Okay, you have the bar chart, and then we got the line also mixed in the bar chart. Okay. List of infographic provide information about the given subject or topic. Okay, this is most of the announcement or share information sharing now over the online, yes, online would be done by sharing infographics. So a lot of people or organization find it much easier to share a lot of information by having infographics. Okay, so it is to provide information about the given subject and topic. You can see that in here, you see, you can have so many reference on on one slide, and then all the information that you need will just be on a slide. That would be great, so that when you work with your presentation, you can just comment on everything on this one particular slide, which is helpful, and then you don't have to go back and forth managing or handling your slides to when you are in the midst of your speech. Okay. Next visual aid is a timeline. The purpose is to show how a given subject or topic has changed over time. Okay. What we have here is a Gantt chart where you can show to the people watching what are the movement of the project or this particular in this particular one. This is writing. Okay, what would be the progress and so on. So it can just be a timeline. For example, this would be a great one. If it's a timeline, it would be a great one if you are comparing and contrasting between two things, in the past and now, in the past or in the future, in the past versus the future, or it would be great in presenting something like in a history lesson, right? Let's take the example of the independence, Malaysian independence. What happened in the early years before we actually achieve independence, and then up until now, will show that what will happen in let's say for example 1957, 1963, and then 2020 up until today. So that would be, if you put that in a slide where it shows a timeline, then you would see, then it will make your reference to the events of Malaysian independence would be much easier. All right. So timeline is used to show how a topic or subject has changed over time. That is the function of the timeline. Next one is the flow chart. The flow chart is the visual aid. Describe the flow of the process from the starting point to the end with the important decision making in between, and decision making in between. Flow chart. Yes, it is something like this, meaning that if you have a group of people that you are managing, and then you are telling them the process of the task or a project, and then you will show on this particular flow chart how are they going to go about doing or carrying out their work, to whom should they go to, and then what will happen next if one stage is completed, and so on and so on. Okay, so this flow chart can also be shown to demonstrate the process, the sequence of things done in the process. So this will be great if you have if you are explaining a process, or the running of something, or of a department, of an organization, of a program, of an event. That would be the flow. And this will be, this can be useful when you are presenting the things that I said just now. Comparison table: compare and contrast two given subject and topic. And this would be great if you have if you are trying to make your point, and then you want to be persuasive in your argument, in your points, in your speech, that you want people to agree with the points that you are making. So if you can put the subject side by side, or the topic side by side in your slide as your visual aid, it would be very helpful, because you're going to be looking at two things at the same time. You are comparing the two things at the same time. Which one would be better? For example, if you are into now is the craze of people having an active lifestyle. So what most people do, in Kuantan, at least in Kuantan, I see a lot of people are taking up cycling as a way to keep themselves active. So if you can have the comparison between two kinds of bicycles, maybe looking at the price, maybe looking at what's better in one brand, and what's better, what would be much inferior in one bike, so that you can have a chart. You can have a visual aid putting those two bicycles side by side and comparing the price, good values or the good quality of the bicycle and or the downside of the bicycle. So that will be the comparison table, and it's to compare two things, the given, yeah, two things. In this case that I said just now, is the bicycle, right? Okay. So here is the example, right? Location-based infographic. Again, the word infographic, right? Location-based, right? Location-based. When you have, when you want to show people the kind of information that you have. Example, if you are giving a talk, sorry, I mean, you are sharing, or you are you are presenting to group people and to show them what's happening in one place, or this would be a good one if you are presenting for example, a trip, a holiday spot, where you can show them the where the place is, and with all the graphics that you can insert in the slide, where you show the spot of the holiday spot itself, and then what are the things that will surround the holiday spot, what are the things that they can do, what activity can they do, and so on and so on. Okay, so the purpose is the map is to visualize a geographic location. Okay, so in here, in the example, it shows that, yeah, in each of the country, where it's country, here it is all about the worldwide insurance. Okay, so okay, right. So the thing is that what I want to point out is that, yeah, you can have this, yeah, you can have this map as used as your visual aid to help you with your presentation. Yeah. Okay. Hierarchical infographic. Hierarchical infographic. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Hierarchical infographic. Purpose: tag items, subject based on predefined levels. Okay, so hierarchy is, yeah, to show that, yeah, for the example, in this slide, this sample slide is like, you would see the title of the slide is the ballooning CEO salaries and mass layoffs, right? So all the companies and all the CEOs as compared to the layoffs of the people. So the hierarchy means that you have the rank of people, and then if you want to explain the hierarchy, the position of a department, I mean the position of those people in the department, that will be hierarchical. Hierarchy infographic would be great to show, yes, who is on top and what after that, and then it will it can just be in a different form. For example, it can just be in a tree branch and thing coming out from the top to the bottom, and to show who's up there, and then what comes in the next level, and the next level, and the next level. Okay. Right, so stack items and subject based on predefined levels. Okay, hierarchical infographics. Okay, visualize number infographics. Purpose: we do this to, okay, we visualize numbers of instead of just putting numbers. Instead of just putting numbers on your slide. You can always have, yes, you can always have images to the numbers, Okay, it would be interesting to have the numbers, and then you associate those numbers to the to the reference that is referring to. It would be great for any presentation if you are working with a lot of numbers in your presentation. Okay, right. So as you can see, it is if just imagine if you are just going to put the numbers there without the images of images of the animals here, animals there, right? Animals there. That will be a plain a common thing, or maybe some people would say a boring one that you can see. It's just the numbers, and then it's not helped by the images. So if you put the images there, then you can see that it's much better, and then people would can relate, and then it somehow it will invoke the response that you want from the audience. They will give more attention to the slides if it's something like that. It uses the images with the numbers for the statistic, just like this one. It will be great for the audience. Okay, let's break for a while and enjoy the music. Oops, sorry. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so we are done with the some of the example of the visual aid that we can use in our presentation. Like I said again, I need to stress this. You can just go into a presentation without even having a PowerPoint or a PowerPoint or any slides prepared. You just bring in one thing that you can show, and then you can use that as a visual aid. But then again, if you have prepared a visual aid, for example, the PowerPoint, the Maju paper, or visualizer, or anything that you can project on the screen, that would be much better. Let's just see again the video where I show you this one. Let's watch this one, because you have to watch this one.
Dhananjaya Hediyarachi, I see something. I see something. Dhananjaya Hediyarachi. You and I are not very different from this flower. Just like this flower is unique, you are unique. All of us has something special that makes us as beautiful. Do you know what makes you special? Now, the answer to that can be a little difficult to find, because sometimes life has a cruel way picking out petals, breaking you in two, and throwing you into the trash. And when you're broken, it's very difficult to feel special. So God to share my fellow flowers. I can remember the first time I broke. I was 17 years old. I had already flunked high school and managed to get myself arrested. Now, I wasn't afraid of the cops, but there was one person I was very afraid of.
Sorry about that.
Dhananjaya Hediyarachi, I see something. I see. You and I, like this flower, is unique. You are unique. All of us has something special that makes us as beautiful. Do you know what makes you special? Now, the answer to that can be a little difficult to find, because sometimes life has a cruel way picking out petals, breaking you in two, and throwing you into the trash. And when you're broken, it's very difficult to feel special. So God to share my fellow flowers. I can remember the first time I broke. I was 17 years old. I had already flunked high school and managed to get myself arrested. Now, I wasn't afraid of the cops, but there was one person I was very afraid of, and that was my mom. Raise your hand if you have an emotional mother, please. Put them all together, you get mama. I can hear her scream outside the police station. Even the cops were afraid. She came up to me, held the iron bars, looked into my eyes, and I saw a tear coming down her face. Now, I've seen my mama cry before, but mothers cry 3 types of tears. Tears of joy, tears of sorrow, and tears of shame. And when a son sees a mother cry tears of shame, that's a life-changing moment. She looked at me and said, "Son, I want you to be a better man." That night, when I drove home, my dad was waiting for me at home. Now, my dad is a cool dad. Raise your hand if you have a cool dad. Put them all together, you get my dad. My dad came up to me and said, "Son, it's okay. You flunked your exams. You already got arrested. That's fine. You get that from your mother's side. I want you to start working immediately." And I said, "Okay." So my dad took me to meet one of his friends called Sam. Now, Sam was an accountant who had an accounting firm and had generously decided to make me his personal assistant. And there he was. He looked like a teddy bear. But this man was special. I looked at him and he looked at me. And then he said the most amazing thing. He said, "Son, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. If you decide to work with me, I can help you find that something." And I was like, "Whoa, that's the first time in my whole life somebody has ever told they see something in me." And I started working for Sam. And every day after work, he used to tell me stories about the world, about history, about culture, about philosophy. And it was much more interesting than what I learned in school. And I discovered I can dream. And I started dreaming, ladies and gentlemen. After 1 year, I went back into high school, completed my exams, and went into college. After successfully completing college, I found a great girl, but not a job. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Have you ever had that problem? And when you're lost, it's difficult to feel special. So I went back to my cool dad. And I said, "Dad, I feel lost." He said, "You are like your mother." So my dad introduced me to this strange club that had a strange name with strange people. Okay. On the first meeting, they told me to do something called a tabletop. But while I was speaking, I see a strange man seated in the back row, humble, simple, the unfailing quality of kindness in his eyes. As soon as I finished, he walked up to me, looked me dead straight in the eye, and said, "Son, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. If you come here twice a month, maybe we can find that something." And ladies and gentlemen, I discovered I could speak, and I love speaking. And that led me to become a teacher. I know what it's like to not have enough money in your bank account. I know what it's like to worry when the bills start coming in. And sometimes, in the middle of the night, I wake up my beautiful wife and I ask her, "Honey, why did you marry me?" She says, "I saw something in you, but I still don't know what it is." Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm a dreamer, I'm a speaker, and I learned the unfailing quality of unconditional love from my wife. I was broken, and I've been broken, lost, and broke many times in my life. But the people in my life were able to reach into the trash can and make me whole again. If it was up to me, I would have never been able to do that. And this is why if you have great people in your life, no matter how broke, how lost, or how broken you become, they can piece you back together. Ladies and gentlemen, when I look at you, I see something in you. What is it?
All right. Is it? With just the help of the rows, the two rows and the dustbin on the floor, this speaker managed to give, yeah, a very interesting. That's why he's the champion. Is that like? So what I'm saying again is like, you can just have, you know, a few props to help you with your presentation. Yet the content of your speech must be good. It must be good. Yes, it must be good. So the visual aids help you, yeah, to an extent. But again, what you need to do is to have to plan your presentation well, to have all the facts, the content well written and well thought. Okay. We are going to see one of the things that you can include in your speech to make your speech much better. Okay. Coming back to the visual aids just now, right? So we have gone to many talks. We have gone to many talks, and then we have seen a lot of people using different kinds of slides or different kinds of visual aid to help with their presentation. And so some of the things that you do with some of the things that you have to bear in mind. The things that you do when you have the visual aid, use visual aid to enhance points, show the sources of the information shown to add credibility to the points and presentation. The thing is, kalau kita, if you are presenting something and then you are getting the information from somewhere, and then there is the question of copyright, things like that. So for each of the gambar ataupun the images that you use, put there, tell. If you put there on your slide, you are telling the audience, kita bagi tahu orang where do we get it from, so there won't be any problem of copyright ataupun kena block later on. So that's important. Okay, so if you have the slides, if you have the visual aid with you, again, the visual aid doesn't matter kalau dia slide, kalau dia PowerPoint, kalau dia macho paper, kalau dia visualizer or malakat, things like that. Okay, so spend relevant time describing your visual. Don't just project the slide on the screen and then not saying anything. Don't let the audience do the work of interpreting, mentafsirkan apa what you have shown on the screen. Okay, so if you have the time, plan the time, take the time to explain each and every one of the visual aids that you use. It doesn't have to be long. All right. Sometimes the visual aid is used to invoke feelings, untuk bagi the audience rasa ataupun recall, kenang kembali apa dia, apa dia kaitan dia dengan visual yang kita tunjuk. Okay, don't use too many visual aid to highlight a point. For example, if you have a point, example, let's take this example of bicycle as a healthy style, as the healthy living style. Okay, so when you dwell on the point of why you choose bicycle as the preferred activity for the active lifestyle, don't have, and on that one particular point why you choose that bicycle, dia tunjuk banyak visual, banyak images. Banyak is too many is distracting. Too many is distracting. Just for a point, it would be great if you can just stay with a few. Let's just say for a point, let's have 2 or 3, or just 2 visual aid images that when you are making your point, so that people can concentrate on what you are saying instead of busy looking at the visual aid images or the slides that you have put in your presentation. Ini sangat penting. Kadang-kadang orang tu, kadang-kadang presenter try to cram everything dalam his or her speech, dan juga dalam waktu yang singkat. Semua dah masuk. Ini belum cakap lagi pasal a slide yang ada banyak tulisan saja. Kalau boleh macam nak fotokopi, macam nak scan, the whole page of the book and then put it in the slide. No, you cannot do that. Jangan buat yang tu, okay? So we have to learn how to do it. Because again, I need to stress this. When you present, you are presenting. You don't read from your slide. You are presenting. When you plan for your presentation, when you write your speech ataupun when you write your talk, make sure that kita, for each of the point that kita nak present, we know what it is. If it's not by heart, at least we are very familiar with the points that we are going to present, so that bila kita buat our slides, it's just a few keywords only dekat slides tu. So bila kita tengok keywords tu, it will give us, kita tahu, we know what are we going to explain, or we know how to elaborate on the key points. Ini sangat penting. Kita tak nak, we don't want the slides to berserabut, banyak sangat tulisan. Mana satu nanti the audience tengok, mana satu nak fokus on. Banyak dengan tulisan. So keep your slides simple, only a few words. Keep your slides simple, a few words, right? Okay, so when you have the few words, the keyword that will give you a chance to explain, to elaborate on the points that you are trying to make. Okay, do not rush through your visual aid. Rush through your visual aid, tak sempat lagi orang nak tengok, dah tukar slide. Okay, dah tukar slide. That's why this is the problem of, this is the problem of having too many. Bila kita prepare a speech, we have too many slides. Cepat-cepat nak tunjuk. Because bila kita tengok, dalam satu presentation 10 minit ada sampai 100 lebih. 100 lebih slide. Kan? 100 lebih slide. So sebabkan bimbang, because we are worried that we don't have enough time to show our hard work done. Okay, so we rush through it. Cepat tekan. Next slide. So when you plan your speech, when you plan your talk, for each of the section or the points that you're trying to make, limit the numbers of the visual. So that you will take time. You will give ample time. To appropriately elaborate or explain the points, and using the relevant few relevant slides instead of banyak slides to explain your point. Next one, don't use too many colors. Talking about colors ni untuk slide, okay, you have to be you have to be aware. You have to be aware. Kadang kita buat slides dalam PowerPoint ataupun dekat mana-mana media pun, dalam majalah paper ke melekat ke, okay, majalah paper tu at least dia putih and then the background is putih. And then the melekat tu ada masalah sikit sebab dia ada hijau, kuning, merah, pink gitu. So when you play with the background, with the colors that for your slide, tengok warna dia. Don't, satunya ialah bila kita, when we do the slides and then choosing colors yang striking, boleh bayangkan tak? Can you imagine? It will be blinding. Okay, it will be blinding. It will be a sore to your eyes. Okay, eyesore. It will be eyesore, kan? Dia jadi sakit mata because of the colors that you chosen. Yes, we know that you like bright pink, but right, but don't use that bright pink in your slides. Even though you like bright pink very much, kan? You like bright pink intensely, don't use it. Okay, so bila kita choose colors yang contrast, just like the slides that I'm having here, black, and then on the writing is in white, so it contrasts. It can be is it clear? My slide kat sini clear? Cakap clear. Kalau clear, bagi tahu clear. Kalau tak, I fail this one. Yes, clear tak? Clear? It should be clear. Okay, agree clear? Okay, don't use too many colors. Jangan terlalu sibuk sangat. If it's a poster, then it's okay. Dia tak bergerak. And then if it's posters, but slides kita nak change the slide as we progress through our speech, and then nanti it will become a distraction instead of helping with your presentation, your speech, right? Okay, and this would be a problem. The last one for the don't. Stand in front of your visual aid. Kan? Ni masalah. So to make your presentation better, what you need to do is, if you are invited for any speech somewhere that the place that you are not familiar with, and so that's why you need to go ahead before the actual happening, before the actual event, to look at the place itself. Tengok tempat tu macam mana. Where is the projector, where's the screen, where's the audience going to be, where are you going to stand, and so on. It is annoying bila tengok a presenter berdiri depan projector, kan? Dia berdiri depan projector, standing in front of the projector, lepas tu bayang-bayang dia dekat screen. So plan ahead, pergi dulu tempat tu, tengok dulu, scout it out, recce dulu macam mana, where are the position of those things that will help with your presentation, and then bila you present, make sure that you don't go in front of the projector and then you close out the slide on the screen, ataupun tangan kadang-kadang, ataupun half your body dekat screen. So, alright, so these are the things that you do and those with your visual aid. Alright, so again, repeat, for the do's, use visual aid to enhance point. Show if you have certain images or information that you have taken from somewhere, make sure that you give credit. Maknanya kita bagi tahu on the slide itself, kita acknowledge daripada mana dia datang, okay, daripada mana source, mana dia punya punca, daripada mana kita dapat. If it's like this one, I've taken it from a book like Workplace Communication for Graduating Students by Azmin and other writers. You have to give nama dia orang kat situ, okay? So that these are their points. So we're just borrowing it, okay? Just borrowing it. So there's no reason ataupun orang nak get question us kenapa kita guna material dia. Kita guna material dia, kita pinjam material dia dengan with us giving acknowledge ataupun kita bagi tahu kita acknowledge daripada mana kita dapat ni. Alright, so spend relevant time describing your visual. Relevant time meaning don't go overboard. Jangan overshoot the time in explaining your visual, meaning that you have ample make sure you have ample time to describe each of the visual that you have made. Kan rugi je lah kalau kita buat visual tapi kita don't take the time, ataupun kita buat a visual, kita spend a lot of time explaining that one visual, kan jadi tak berapa cantik. Alright, okay, and don't use too many visual aid untuk one point, because you will keep on changing and then you have to rush through your visual aid because there are so many visual that you want to show, that you want to share. So make sure the outlook of the slides to look nice, look pleasant to the eye. Jangan terlalu banyak sangat tulisan. If you have points to make, just put there on the slide the keywords instead of writing everything like that. Scan satu buku. And then avoid this. Most annoying thing to me is like, don't stand in front of the projector, don't stand in front of the screen where you are going to produce the shadow, the menghalang the visual aid. Okay, all right. Okay, well, that's the technical of the public speaking. So far, any question? Yes? Any question? Tak ada? Or do you have anything to share? Your own experience? Giving out any talk or any speech? Something happened? No? Okay? Right. Okay. This would require you to do some investigative work. All right. So for each of the speech, sebenarnya when you do a speech, you need to do all these things. Kalau kita tengok video tadi, we have watched the video just now. What you can see is the first one is in a speech, what you need to do is to actually introduce yourself. So you actually introduce yourself. So bila kita introduce ourselves, we are telling the audience who you are, right? Who you are. Walaupun dia a short introduction about yourself, people want to know a little bit more of who you are, right? So if you are in a speech, kalaupun contoh example, if you are in a speech, kalau ada moderator ataupun you have the chairperson ataupun MC, the person handling the event will take the time, will take the part of introducing the speaker. Bila dia dah introduce, kalau dia introduce just the name, you can take up a few maybe 1 or 2 minutes to further share any information about yourself. Why do you do that? Kenapa kita nak kenapa kita nak bagi more information to the audience, so that people will know you much better. People can associate you, ataupun people can assess you much better in relevant to the things that you are going to present. Takat nama je, and then they want to know siapa dia ni, what are your experience, are you considered qualified to speak to speak and present the subject and topic. So take time to introduce yourself. So when you introduce yourself, you will make a connection with the audience, and the audience can just, maybe the audience would be, would say, sama macam the speaker. I pun sama macam the speaker. Saya pun sama macam the speaker. Okay, so that will form a kind of relation to the by the speaker with the audience in front. Okay, so in a speech, when you plan a speech, when you write a speech, make a great opening statement. Make a great opening statement. Make a great opening statement means that kalau kita tengok video tadi, if you look at the video tadi, it tells you what happened to what happened. It gives you an image that you can relate to. The beautiful rose, and then it got torn apart, and then it is discarded into the waste bin. So that is one great opening for his speech. You can also make great opening statement, for example, to share any interesting facts or any amazing facts, or you can use you can give out rhetorical question, kan? Rhetorical question. Soalan yang you jawab. Yang you jawab lah, rhetorical. Pernah tak you pergi ke sini dan experience this one? Example that is rhetorical, kan? And then don't wait for the audience to answer that question. You bagi soalan and then you jawab that soalan. Right? You jawab that soalan. If you want to use rhetorical question, just use a few. Jangan terlalu banyak. Okay. Nanti orang cakap ini exam ke ataupun a speech ataupun talk. No, if you use a rhetorical question, just use a few, just to get the audience warm up to the subject or to the topic that you are going to present. You can also use quotation. Okay, we can also use quotation dalam to be your opening for your speech. Quotation, famous quotation. Okay, famous quotation, and then pilih quotation yang sesuai dengan the speech that you are going to deliver. Pilih quotation yang sesuai. Okay, so sebenarnya untuk opening statement for any speech that you're going to have, that you're going to do, you can think of so many ways. It can just be personal story, it can just be history. Even some people would start off dengan by listening to music dulu, ataupun bagi clipping. Right. Okay. So if you can remember from yesterday's session, it's like I presented in yesterday's session, is like, if you can incorporate video in your presentation, it will be great, right? So the part of the video, part of a clipping can just be can be worked into the opening of your speech, right? So that's the second one. That's the thing that you need to look for, that you have to be aware if you are doing a speech. Okay, make a great opening, because a great opening is the first impression that you give to the audience. Okay, wouldn't get, again I'm saying this, you wouldn't get a second impression. Okay, because it is only first impression. If your impression for the first time that the audience see you is good, then inshallah, okay, you are going to have a good session for your for the speech or for the talk that you want to deliver. Okay, right. Structure your speech. Again, this is the point dalam the process yang kita buat semalam. When kita tengok structure speech, meaning that in every communication that we do, you must have the introduction, the body, and the content. So introduction, after introduction, if you have the points, you can have, in a speech, don't have too many points. It will be ample if you can present 2 or 3 points. Okay, 2 or 3 points. It all depends. Kalau masa tu panjang, and then you can have a lot more. Kalau masa dalam 10 minit, 15 minutes, then you can just have 2 or 3 points. Okay, 2 or 3 points. Tapi macam mana? Why cukup ke kalau 2 or 3 points that you are going to present dalam masa 10 minit? Yes, jawapan dia adalah you can do it. You can do it because for each of the ideas, for each of the body content, we say content tu yang kita points yang kita nak present, you can have a lot of techniques. You can insert a lot of things into the points that you are making, maybe to support, to explain your ideas, to enhance your ideas. Okay, to put in materials like clippings, video clippings. You can put in music. So there are so many things that you can work into your speech when you take the time to plan well for your speech. Plan A to Z for your speech. What will happen? Yes, kita plan A to Z, tapi kadang-kadang it doesn't turn out to be what we plan to. But yet, kalau kita skip a few, contohnya kalau kita skip kan LM, kita still go to N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. Yang itulah kan, when we plan, kadang-kadang it doesn't happen like what we plan. But yet, the important thing is that you have delivered the gist ataupun perkara utama in your speech. Okay, so structure your speech well means that you would gain confidence in delivering your speech. So again, I need to remind everyone, setiap benda yang kita buat mesti ada intro, and then the body and the conclusion. So it goes like that: intro, body, conclusion. Okay, intro, body, conclusion. All right. Writing your speech. So if you are presenting 3 points, each of the point will begin with a topic sentence. Topic sentence ni ialah satu ayat, satu sentence yang will give you an overview. Will give you an overview of the things that will come next. Meaning that for each of the points, you begin with a topic sentence. The topic sentence is the overview of what comes next in your speech. It would be great if you have the each of the point that start with the topic sentence. Are we clear? Are you guys clear? Are you all clear of what is topic sentence? Clear tak? Kalau tak clear, kita tengok nanti. Sekejap lagi kita akan pergi we are going to try out to write a speech Okay, so ask me again of this topic sentence lagi right. Okay, of course, if you are it's just not very good English in any presentation or in any language that you use the 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 the, the proper language, the accepted language for any presentation in any language. Use good language, and then the sum of it is like, yeah, use very good English. Or if you're presenting in other languages, language, and then you use the good language in any presentation. That's the okay, itulah kesimpulan dia. Okay, in your speech you need to express your opinion. Express your opinion meaning that when you express your opinion, you are giving your view on a particular point or that particular subject. Biasanya, how would you know that the person is expressing his or her opinion? By listening to what he said. Dia akan of course dia akan indicate, dia akan beritahu pada the audience, okay, bukan macam this is my opinion. No, dia akan cakap I think I would like to think this as so that is a sign, that is a signal to know that the person is actually expressing his or her opinion. Okay, right there. Okay, number 7, write from the first person and engage your audience. All right, write from the first person. Okay, write from the first person, it means that in any speech, in any talk that you give, biasa kita akan guna I ataupun saya dalam kita speech tu. Bila kita guna saya, meaning that the things that we are going to say, macam nombor 6 tadi, this is our own opinion, kita punya opinion. Okay, the personal opinion of the speaker, and then dia akan berubah. Dia akan berubah bila kita nak engage the audience. Bila kita nak engage the audience, then kita akan tukar the pronoun tu. Kita akan tukar the pronoun. Engage, when you want to engage your pronoun, kita gunakanlah the third person dia menjadi macam we, you, they, kita semua. We all know, and that we all are aware. So bila kita tukar the pronoun macam tu, kita akan bagi tahu, kita akan signal that this is the part where we want the speaker want the audience to get involved ataupun to give more attention to it, to the ideas that we are trying to get the audience to be on board dengan apa yang kita cakap. Okay, so usually again, biasa kita akan cakap gunakan when we deliver our speech, we use most of the time the I, and then if you want to engage the audience, we use we, they, you all, and so on and so on. Okay, betul. Okay. Right, number 8, use personal details and anecdotes. Okay, inject in your speech or in your talk some personal detail. People would love to know anything personal about anybody. All right, those are I think those will be the juicy things that they can talk, or that they can talk about, or they can just share about the personal details. And then anecdotes, okay, so for like kita dah structure, we have structured our speech. Kita ada intro, we have the body content, we have the body of the speech, and then for each of the body tu, selain daripada besides giving the explanation, elaboration, you can also include dalam when we write our speech to anecdote. Anecdotes means the personal story, the speaker's own personal story, or it can just be orang lain punya personal story, anecdotes. Okay, anecdote is very very potent, very powerful. And if you share with people often give their full attention when it comes to personal story or personal experience of anybody. Because that's how people are like, right? People are like to get to have the feeling of sharing. If you share the personal story here, people will get feel like they are a part of what you are saying. Okay, so anecdotes, your personal story or the things that you have heard of. Okay, number 9, use rhetorical question. Use rhetorical question. Macam tadi dalam it can just be rhetorical question dalam intro, dalam opening. For your opening boleh pakai dalam intro, for your opening boleh pakai, and dalam body boleh pakai juga rhetorical question. And the rhetorical question ni jangan biarkan don't leave the rhetorical question unanswered. Give the answer to the rhetorical question. Kalau kita biarkan dia tak ada answer, and then the audience will I'm sure that the audience will wait for the answer to the question. Apa dia? Kan? Kadang-kadang if they will come back to you at the end of your presentation, they will come back to you with the longing, the feeling, and the wanting to know the answer to the question that you have given in your speech. Kan? They will take note of that. Apa dia jawapan dia, and then they will tanya lagi. Dia orang akan tanya lagi juga apa dia. Okay, so bila kita give rhetorical question, bila kita bagi question, answer that question. Don't wait. This is another thing. Don't wait for the response from the audience. Contohnya, kalau kita share a humor, kalau kita bagi tahu a funny story in our speech, kan, don't pause for the audience to react to your funny story. After you have said your funny story, if you to the end of the funny story that you shared, terus je cakap. Kalau because when we talk, and people listening to us will take quite a few seconds to really understand what we say, ataupun untuk dapat apa yang kita cakap. So bila kita insert jokes dalam kita punya speech, okay, don't wait for the audience to clap ke to laugh at the jokes that you have made. Jangan okay, teruskan. Kalau the audience to react lambat sikit, then you can just say thank you. Masa tu ada live, edit masuk je dalam tu, okay, insert je dalam tu, thank you again for understanding my joke, and then continue with the points that you are making at that present moment. Okay, so someone the thing is, with rhetorical question, don't wait for their response. Just give the question and then answer the question. Okay. All right. Number 10. Use emotive language. Use emotive language. Emotive language ni ialah the language that will give you will invoke feeling, that will invoke that akan mencetuskan apa? What do you call that? Mencetuskan you punya punya rasa, mencetuskan rasa, kata-kata, kan? It is just not it's just not enough untuk kita kata macam menangis, kan? Menangis. Kalau kita sebut dia menangis, and then it doesn't bring the emotion into what we are saying, kan? It doesn't bring emotion to what we're saying. So kalau kita sebut when we say menangis kesedihan, kan? Menangis kesedihan, then you can actually imagine, you can actually feel apa dia yang maybe apa yang membuatkan orang tu jadi sedih. So it's just not bila kita wants to appeal to the audience, kita guna wording ataupun phrases yang akan invoke feeling, yang akan mencetuskan simpati, yang akan mencetuskan rasa pada apa yang kita cakap. It's very important, right? Bila kita describe sedap tu, it's just not sedap, kan? It's just not sedap. Sedap kita sebut, we say sedap yang apa, yang amat sangat sedap, yang tak tahu nak kata. Something like that, kan? Gembira yang sangat gembira yang macam nak pecah dada, something like that, kan? Okay, so bila when we say something like that, then the audience can relate apa benda yang kita cakap tu, then we give them the feel, okay, give them the feel. Kalau contoh kita kata pisau, it's just not enough kita kata pisau yang sangat tajam, pisau yang berkilat dan tajam. When we give that, kita bagi image, we put an image into our words, that bila orang dengar, people can imagine a knife, sharp and shiny. Means that the knife, if used wrongly, it will be deadly, it will be dangerous. Okay, so this is very important. If you are trying to convince in your speech, you are trying to convince people to agree with an idea that you presented. So use emotive language. Use figurative language. Use figurative language meaning that contohnya apa? Figurative language ni ialah it's raining cats and dogs, kan? Hujan lebat, kan? Hujan lebat. Ataupun I'm green. Is it green or blue? Green with envy, or blue with envy, something like that. Okay. Dia seorang yang, kalau kita nak kata dia seorang yang tinggi tu, kan? Dia seorang yang tinggi, lampai, dia kan, figuratif. Dia seorang yang apa, kita nak describe people, nak describe person, dia seorang yang bijak, baik hati. Okay, something like that. Dia bijak dan baik hati. Dia bijak dan ataupun famous kan, tall, dark and handsome, ya kan? Atau tall, dark, handsome person like siapa? Like siapa? Okay. Okay, itu ialah figuratif. Kita bagi juga image to the language that you use. Okay, next one. Identifying the things that you would love to put in, you would like to put in a speech, like bila kita ada point, we want to make our point much clearer or much more interesting. Then we use contrast. We use contrast ni untuk show kalau kita we have two things. Macam basikal tadi, contoh basikal tadi. We are contrasting the two things. Kita bandingkan between the two things that we have. Which one is better? Which one would you prefer? When you bind things, it happened to us almost all the time, kan? Cumanya kita guna teknik ni in our speech because we want to make it much clearer, and then we want to make the point that we are using to show it. The point that we're making is the point itself is better than the thing we compare it to. So bila kita ada contrast kan, kita guna again the example is bicycle. This bicycle is much better. I prefer this one because of it as compared to the contrast kan, kita kita contrastkan dia, kita comparekan dia dengan the other bike. Why we don't use this one? Ataupun kita contohnya katalah the thing that we eat. Kenapa kita makan yang ni, and then instead of makan yang ni, so bila kita present something like that, contohnya it's like the benefits of being vegan to the normal diet, diterangkan being vegan ni apa dia, what are the things that will help you if you are being vegan, and then what is not there in doing normal diet, kan? Contoh, right? Contoh. Alright, it would be great if you can use repetition. Contoh dalam video tadi, apa dia yang dia ulang-ulang banyak kali? Apa dia yang ulang banyak kali? Apa dia ulang banyak kali? I see there is something in you, but I don't know what it is. Dia ulang. Okay. Sampai phrase tu, bila dia ulang phrase tu for the third time and so on, the audience, you can almost hear the audience ulang benda tu, kan? Ulang the sentence, kan? I can see something in you. But I don't know what it is. Okay, sama lah. So the repetition gives you the effect of people tend to remember. So even this technique ini yang Rasulullah selalu anjurkan, kan? Bila we want to make a point, in important point, Rasulullah selalu ulang 3 kali. So this is a technique yang dianjurkan, dan bila kita buat speech, kita nak something important, kita ulang the thing sampai 3 kali, so that dia akan lekat dalam ingatan kita apa dia. Okay, dan apa dia yang kita nak kata, apa yang speaker tu nak kata, sampai dah keluar habis kita tengok video tu, macam yang kita tengok video tadi, like the video that we have watched just now, you can still recall apa dia cakap tadi because it is being repeated again and again dalam dia punya delivery tadi. So it's the same thing. Kalau dalam satu sentence tu, in one point that you're making, repeat dia 3 kali, so that it will be it will stick with you. The repetition will stick with you. Alright, use the list of three. Okay, use the list of three. Maknanya ni samalah benda ni tadi. Kalau kita nak guna kita nak stress the point, buatlah dia 3 kali. Kalau kita nak describe something, use the demonstration of a thing 3 kali juga. Okay, use the list of three. Itu sama dia. Okay, make sure that you focus on the topic. If you are delivering your speech, focus on the topic. Jangan go off tangent. Okay, one thing leads to another, and then you go off tangent. This would be great if you have some kind of a reminder in front of you, some kind of reminder in front of you. For example, if you are using the podium, kan depan tu ada rostrum ke, podium rostrum, and then put on the rostrum to you punya card or your charts, okay, your charts, cards gitu apa, and then yes, boleh tengok, boleh refer to that. So you bring whenever you then again, bila kita kata focus on topik ni, the thing is, bila dah tulis, when you have written your speech, you practice the speech. You practice the speech. So when it's very crucial that you practice your speech, because you want to adhere, you want to follow the time, okay, you want to watch out for the time frame. You are given 10 minutes, then you should stick with 10 minutes presentation. Kalau kita over explain or we go off tangent, okay, on the topic, then you won't be able to deliver all the content that you want to, okay, dalam planning. So make sure that you have something that will remind you where are you going with your speech. So ada soalan yang kita kata instead semalam kita dah we have kita dah bagi tahu yang ni kan, you can have a speech, you can do a speech and then read from a text in your speech, kan, in your speech, read from a text, but it is not a good effort on your part to just read from the text that you have prepared. So what we said yesterday is that to have the each point that you present to be on a to be written, and then the writing on whether it is on the slide or for your personal reference, there will be a cue card ataupun card yang kecil tu, cue card tu kan kita guna, write on it the keyword. Of course lah, when you write the keyword, the details, the content of what you going to say itu you know by heart, because ataupun if you don't know by heart, you are very familiar with it. So take be sure ataupun have confidence in you that when you are prepared, when you are already prepared for the speech that you are going to deliver, you are the only person that knows what is in your speech. Orang lain tak tahu. Okay, so at least if you happen to not remember some part of it, you have delivered some information that you need. Okay, so that is where some sort of a reminder, the cue card comes into play, so that bila kita sebut, bila kita guna, when we deliver our speech, we can refer to that card. Okay, right? Okay, of course, to have a good speech, you need to have a pleasant tone of voice. Dulu we have this impression that bila orang when we hear a speaker, dia mesti ada certain type of voice, suara yang besar, suara yang powerful, suara yang bass, bass dia, ya, kan, bass dia banyak bass, kan, high bass. Tapi sebenarnya what I want to say is that kalau if we feel that our voice is not tak as good as the things, the impression that we have, the impression that we have, the idea that we have of what a good speakers sounds like, sebenarnya tak. Each person is unique. Macam mana dia nak guna suara dia tu is by realizing that this is my voice, and I am going to use my voice as good as possible. Contohnya lah kan, bila kita dengar dulu kalau kita dengar radio, semua orang suara dia sama kan, DJ suara dia sama je lebih kurang, because dia training is like that. Suara dia sama, suara dia kadang-kadang dia guna falsetto dan suara dia jadi besar, suara dia jadi lain, and then standard dia itu. Tapi sekarang bila kita tengok DJ radio, kan, DJ radio, dia suara dia tak macam okay, this is an example. Dia punya suara tu tak macam orang yang baca berita lagi dah, kan, tak macam orang baca berita. Suara dia tu is their own voice. Dia bukan suara yang dia buat-buat, tapi they know what they sound like, and they are proud to use their own voice. Suara dia yang macam tu, except for those people yang memang dah suara dia kuat, bass and so on, memang that person will use that voice, that is his original voice. Tapi kalau kita listen to radio sekarang ni, ada macam-macam so different station with so many DJs yang suara dia orang memang original, and then suara dia orang tu kadang-kadang macam kita dengar suara orang biasa-biasa, but the thing is they know how to use the voice well, how to use their voice well. They are proud of using their original voice instead of trying to make out. So pleasant tone of voice ni, if you practice your speech, you can hear, you can try to tweak apa benda yang akan jadikan how are you going to make your voice sounds better. Okay, tips usually setiap orang akan ada your point of reference, ataupun the person that you look up to when for inspiration, untuk kita jadikan rujukan bila kita nak give a speech. Kita boleh nak tiru orang tu, tapi jangan tiru cara dia ataupun tiru suara dia. Kita boleh tiru cara dia, and then kita boleh ambil, kita boleh tiru, dan mula-mula kita tirulah, senang kita katakan. Contohnya kalau kita tak pandai melukis, the first thing that we do to have a good drawing is lah kita practice dengan kita tiru, atau ada kita tekap, ataupun kita ikut lukis dengan kotak, ataupun lukis by nombor. We do that until we are comfortable enough, kita confident enough, then we don't need to tiru pakai tekap ataupun tracing anymore. We can just look at the picture and then draw, kan? Look at the picture and then draw without even putting a paper on top of the picture and then tracing it. Kita tak perlu dah, kita dah tengok dan kita boleh buat on our own. It's the same thing dengan our voice, okay? It might sound different. Suara kita ni kadang different. If we listen to our suara ni, live and then we listen to our suara recorded, it will be different. Kita pun sometimes akan jadi, is this my voice? Is this really my voice? Macam tu lah kan. Kita, suara aku ingat suara aku lebih sedap daripada ni. No, my voice is better. No, but yet that is your voice, and then we will have to practice ataupun work on the style of our work on our style. Kita boleh tiru orang and then get the technique from orang, and then kita boleh have our own style. Macam mana kita nak gayakan suara kita, macam mana kita nak find the pleasant tone of our own voice. So there are many ways. Okay, there are many ways. Bila kita cakap the tone of your voice, the tone of voice ni bukan saja tone, and then we need to play with the what do you call that, the rhythm ataupun the up and down of the voice. The up and down of the voice. Kalau we watch the video just now, bila dia the speaker nak stress on thing, he will slow down. Kan, he will slow down the pace. Pace pun sama, satu lagi benda is the pace. Okay, and then there will be the up and down of your voice. The up and down of your. This is the thing that somebody said yesterday. You're not being monotonous. Not being monotonous. Monotonous is like to have your voice at the same tone, at the same pace, and all the time. And then you don't want to do this, because imagine if I talk like this for the whole presentation, everybody will be bleeding from your nose. So that is not to be done. Okay, again, the practice, right? To make sure, what I do is with the speech or any text that I'm going to deliver, is that like when you have a line, then put there the marking. So where do you need to put your when you need to have your voice high, and when you need to have your voice low voice. Macam tu, then that will surely help. Bila kita kata kita nak stress on something and on a point that we are making, then our voice will go up. And then perhaps if you want more effect on it, our voice will go down. And then bila kita go down, people will tend to be more attentive. Sebab kita lower our voice, and then we go slower, and then people will say, this is not the pace yang tadi, this is a different pace. Okay, so you are trying to make sama macam tadi, the video that we have watched tadi, kita tengok bila dia the stress on the point, dia akan slow down. Okay, right, boleh? Any question? Any question? Sebab lepas ni kita akan buat yang ni. Oh, no, kita buat ni. Okay, boleh? Yes or no? Boleh tak? Now, okay, take break lah sekejap. Okay, if you are in front of your computer or your gadget, what I need you to do is, I think I have shared, dalam chat tu I have shared the slide, so you can go to the slide tu kan. Betul. Slide yang ada tu the link to the slide dah ada dalam tu. Okay. So watch this, tengok. Okay, what I need you to do is pick one video Pick one video, everyone pick one video, your own video, and then identify the listed items dalam apa yang kita tengok tadi. Apa yang kita tengok tadi? Apa yang kita tengok tadi? Tengok tadi number 1 until number 16. Try to identify. Try to identify that. If possible, we are going to share the video tu tadi. Okay, we are going to share the video. Mana-mana video yang you ambil. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to watch the video and then identify the items, the listed item, number 1 until number 16. What you need to do is to look at the video and then share. Lepas ni kita nak share apa dia items yang which items number 1 to 16 yang ada dalam the video that you find. Boleh? Okay? Okay or not? Okay, yeah? Okay, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. Cukup? Cukup tak? Okay, 10 minutes untuk find a video that you can share. Okay. Okay, everyone, the attendance is there. Don't forget to mark on your attendance. Okay. Would anyone would like to share the video, your video? Adam, can they share the video? Yes? Okay. Let's watch this one. Okay. Okay, we're going to watch this one. And then we will just identify whether this speaker has used some of the items that we have listed just now. Okay, let's go.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hormati pensyarah wacana akademik bahasa Melayu Dr. Ahmad Najib bin Mat Saleh serta rakan-rakan dan sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya, Dr. Khairunisa binti Roslan, akan membentangkan pencapaian awam yang bertema isu semasa. Berdirinya pokok kerana batangnya, berdirinya bangunan kerana tiangnya. Tetapi berdirinya saya pada pagi ini tidak lain dan tidak bukan, iaitu untuk memecahkan tajuk syarahan saya, iaitu pemeliharaan dan pemeliharaan alam sekitar, tanggungjawab kita bersama. Alam sekitar merupakan sesuatu yang amat penting dalam kehidupan manusia. Apa mengira apa agamanya, apa bangsanya dan di mana negaranya. Alam sekitar yang sepatutnya dibela dan dijaga oleh manusia kini telah diancam oleh tangan-tangan rakus melakukan kemusnahan. Golongan ini sewenang-wenangnya bertindak demi keuntungan diri. Pada itu, ada sebahagian pihak mengutarakan isu pembalakan merupakan salah satu sebab. Hadirin sekalian, meskipun demi urusan pembangunan negara, kita haruslah memastikan bahawa alam sekitar tidak sekali-kali menjadi korban. Alam sekitar melibatkan berbagai sumber dan berbagai bentuk dan merupakan seluruh hadirin sekalian. Pentingnya untuk kita semua memainkan peranan bertanggungjawab menjaga alam sekitar agar sumber ini dapat bertahan lama demi kebaikan semua. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, saya mengutarakan isu Tasik Chini. Tasik sudah jadi kedua terpusat di Malaysia ini merupakan kawasan pelakon. Pinggiran Tasik Chini didiami oleh orang asli suku Jawa. Seorang Tok Batu, salah satu perkampungan asli di sana, memandangkan hubungan di sekitar kawasan itu telah mendatangkan cemaran kepada air Tasik, menyebabkan kegatalan kepada tubuh anak-anak yang lagi mandal di sana, serta merosakkan mutu ikan serta terhalangnya kegiatan mengumpul hasil hutan kerana penutupan kawasan. Sekalian, pada 2 Jun yang lalu, Kerajaan Faham telah meluluskan lesen penerbangan lain selama 2 tahun serta kawasan Tasik Chini meliputi 40.51 hektar kepada suatu syarikat Hanishah Venture Raja Syamsuddin Raja Amin Shah dan Muhammad yang merupakan anggota Raja Pahang. Keputusan ini dikecam oleh bilangan besar masyarakat dan juga Persatuan Pencipta Alam MNS Pahang, di mana ketuanya Nur Jihan Abu Bakar menyatakan rasa pertikainya dan skeptikan politik kerajaan Pahang, memandangkan apa yang dinyatakan dalam janji pemeliharaan oleh kerajaan tersebut yang dianggap hanya pura-pura sahaja. Sidang hadirin yang dirahmati Allah sekalian, sudah terang bagi bersuluh pihak kerajaan dan badan-badan bukan kerajaan yang berkaitan haruslah memainkan peranan penting dalam memulihkan dan harap sidang. Sebagai golongan yang mendapat mandat, mereka wajib menjaga dan mengawal alam sekitar daripada terus tercemar. Saya mengakhiri ucapan saya, izinkan saya menyampaikan serangkap pantun. Kalau ada cara yang patah, jangan disimpan di dalam peti. Kalau ada silap dan salah, jangan disimpan di dalam hati. Terima kasih dan alam satu permata.
Okay, what can we see in this video? What we have watched this video. All right, so what are the things that you have identified in the video just now? So we have identified that this is a speech in bahasa Malaysia, bahasa Melayu, okay, bahasa Malaysia, okay. So the speaker's gestures, the speaker's talks about the environment. That's about the environment. Okay, but yet, what do you think? Do you agree that this speaker managed to put forward the idea of keeping the environment safe? I feel that it needs to be telling us that what are the steps that is needed to keep the environment safe, or instead of focusing on who got to do and the example given dalam contoh yang dia bagi tasik cini, and then apa dia siapa yang dapat kontrak and so on. Ni to me it has gone off tangent sebenarnya dalam discussing the some of the points that we can make in dalam ni ialah kita boleh tengok that the speaker use figurative language, right? Tangan-tangan rakus and so on, and then use emotive language to describe how bad the destruction of the environment if they are allowed to do so. Okay, so of course the language use is very the use of language is good in here. Okay, the points are there, but it's not well elaborated. Dia tak ada banyak bagi itu, but yet contoh is given, contohs are given, but yet the elaboration on how we should be preserving the environment is not being discussed at length or in there. Alright, so kalau kita tengok the intro tadi, the speaker begins with the pantun and then ends with pantun also. So the repetition is there. Okay, so that is the 4-minute speech on the what is there, what has been given by the speaker. Okay, in the next video, let's watch the next video. This is from the TEDx talk, and then right. So I maybe you have come across this video. It's been viral. Right? My philosophy for a happy life. So let's watch this one and then try to identify the things that we have listed just now.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Sam, and I just turned 17. A few years ago, before my freshman year in high school, I wanted to play snare drum in the Foxborough High School marching band. However, and it was a dream that I just had to accomplish. But each snare drum and harness weighed about 40 pounds each, and I have a disease called Progeria. So just to give you an idea, I weigh about only 50 pounds. So logistically, I really couldn't carry a regular size snare drum. And because of this, the band director assigned me to play pit percussion during the halftime show. Now, pit percussion was fun. It involved some really cool auxiliary percussion instruments like the bongos, timpani, and timbales and cowbell. So it was fun. But it involved no marching, and I was just so devastated. However, nothing was going to stop me from playing snare drum with the marching band in the halftime show. So my family and I worked with an engineer to design a snare drum harness that would be lighter and easier for me to carry. And so after continuous work, we made a snare drum apparatus that weighs only about 6 pounds. I'm just going to give you some more information about progeria. It affects only about 350 kids today worldwide, so it's pretty rare. And effects of progeria include tight skin, lack of weight gain, stunted growth, and heart disease. Last year, my mom and her team of scientists published the first successful progeria treatment study. And because of this, I was interviewed on NPR, and John Hamilton asked me the question, what is the most important thing that people should know about you? My answer was simply that I have a very happy life. So even though there are many obstacles in my life, with a lot of them being created by progeria, I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't think about these obstacles all the time, and I'm able to overcome most of them anyway. So I'm here today to share with you my philosophy for a happy life. So for me, there are 3 aspects to this philosophy. This is a quote from the famous Ferris Bueller. The first aspect to my philosophy is that I'm okay with what I ultimately can't do because there's so much that I can do. Now, people sometimes ask me questions like, isn't it hard living with progeria? Or what daily challenges of progeria do you face? And I'd like to say that even though I have progeria, most of my time is spent thinking about things that have nothing to do with progeria at all. Now, this doesn't mean that I ignore the negative aspects of these obstacles. When I can't do something like run a long distance or go on an intense roller coaster, I know what I'm missing out on. But instead, I keep the focus on what I can do for things that I'm passionate about, like scouting or music or comic books or any of my favorite Boston sports teams. Yeah. So, however, sometimes I need to find a different way to do something by making adjustments, and I want to put those things in the can-do category, kind of like you saw with the drum earlier. So here's a clip with me playing Spider-Man with the Foxborough High School marching band at halftime a couple years ago. All right. So that was pretty cool. And so I was able to accomplish my dream of playing snare drum with the marching band, as I believe I can do for all of my dreams. So hopefully you can accomplish your dreams as well with this outlook. Next aspect to my philosophy is that I surround myself with people that I want to be with, people of high quality. I'm extremely lucky to have an amazing family who have always supported me throughout my entire life. And I'm also really fortunate to have a really close group of friends at school. Now we're kind of goofy. A lot of us are band geeks, but we really enjoy each other's company and we help each other out when we need to. We see each other for who we are on the inside. So this is us goofing off a little bit. And so we're juniors in high school now, and we can now mentor younger band members as a single collective unit. What I love about being in a group like the band is that the music that we make together is true, it's genuine, and it supersedes Progeria. So I don't have to worry about that when I'm feeling so good about making music. But even having made a documentary, going on TV a couple times, I feel like I'm at my highest point when I'm with the people that surround me every day. They provide the real positive influences in my life, as I hope that I can provide a positive influence in theirs as well. Thank you. So the bottom line here is that I hope that you appreciate and love your family, love your friends, for you guys, love your bros, and acknowledge your mentors and your community, because they are a very real aspect of everyday life that can make a truly significant positive impact. So the third aspect to the philosophy is keep moving forward. Here's a quote by a man you may know named Walt Disney, and it's one of my favorite quotes. I always try to have something to look forward to, something to strive for to make my life richer. It doesn't have to be big. It could be anything from looking forward to the next comic book to come out, or going on a large family vacation, or hanging out with my friends, to going to the next high school football game. However, all of these things keep me focused and know that there's a bright future ahead and may get me through some difficult times that I may be having. Now, this mentality includes staying in a forward-thinking state of mind. I try hard not to waste energy feeling badly for myself, because when I do, I get stuck in a paradox where there's no room for any happiness or any other emotion. Now, it's not that I ignore when I'm feeling badly. I kind of accept it. I let it in so that I can acknowledge it and do what I need to do to move past it. When I was younger, I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be an inventor who would catapult the world into a better future. Maybe this came from my love of Legos and the freedom of expression that I felt when I was building with them. And these was also derived from my family and my mentors, who always make me feel whole and good about myself. Now today, my ambitions have changed a little bit. I'd like to go into the field of biology, maybe cell biology or genetics or biochemistry or really anything. And this is a friend of mine who I look up to, Francis Collins, the director of the NIH. And this is us at TED Med last year, chatting away. I feel that no matter what I choose to become, I believe that I can change the world. And as I'm striving to change the world, I will be happy. About 4 years ago, HBO began to film a documentary about my family and me called Life According to Sam. Now, it was a pretty great experience, but it was also 4 years ago. And like anyone, my views on many things have changed and hopefully matured, like my potential career choice. However, some things have stayed the same throughout that time, like my mentality and philosophy towards life. So I would like to show you a clip of my younger self from the film that I feel embodies that philosophy. I know more about it genetically. So it's less of an embodiment now. It used to be like this thing that prevents me from doing all this stuff that causes other kids to die, that causes everybody to be stressed. And now it's, a protein that is abnormal, that weakens the structure of cells. And it takes a burden off of me because now I don't have to think about progeria as an entity. Okay, pretty good, huh? Yep. Thank you. So, as you can see, I've been thinking this way for many years, but I'd never really had to apply all of these aspects of my philosophy to the test at one time until last January. I was pretty sick. I had a chest cold and I was in the hospital for a few days, I was secluded from all of the aspects of my life that I felt made me me, that kind of gave me my identity. But knowing that I was going to get better and looking forward to a time that I would feel good again helped me to keep moving forward. And sometimes I had to be brave, and it wasn't always easy. Sometimes I faltered, I had bad days, but I realized that being brave isn't supposed to be easy. And for me, I feel it's the key way to keep moving forward. So, all in all, I don't waste energy feeling bad for myself. I surround myself with people that I want to be with, and I keep moving forward. So with this philosophy, I hope that all of you, regardless of your obstacles, can have a very happy life as well. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. One more piece of advice. Never miss a party if you can help it. My school's homecoming dance is tomorrow night, and I will be there. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Okay, interesting? Yeah, interesting. What are some of the things that we can identify from Sam Burns' speech just now on TEDx Mid-Atlantic, and so we can see this person is having a condition, Progeria. Okay, so in his introductions now, he has start off with giving a personal story, the background information, what's happening to him, some information on what is Progeria himself and what does he do, what motivates him, and then what is his point of what is his view, what is his philosophy in life, right? So he used quotation from Ferris Bueller, and then that's a show in the 80s, okay, and then the 80s, 90s. Okay, as he used the quotation, he insert the video, he used reference, and then he used anecdotes, and then he presented his points, the philosophy, the 1, 2, 3, and then added another point, number 4, at the end of the speech. But yeah, he presented all the content for points number 1, 2, and 3, and added the last one at 4. That is as the closing for the speech. All right. If you notice that he doesn't stop when there's something when he shared the video, and he said after watching the video of him playing in the band, okay, in the band, then people only a few seconds later, people start to clap to yes, to start to clap and then to cheer him. And then what he did was he was paused and then say thank you to the audience. So these are the things that if you follow closely, inshallah, you will have a good good session when you deliver a speech. Okay, you have to remember that whatever it is that you do, okay, the steps that you need to take in order to master the public speeches, the public speech, okay, public speaking or public speaking, yeah, master public speaking, is that when you get, let's go review this before we end our session. We need to, when you are assigned with the topic or a subject, you need to do some research and then to find information that will back up, that will make up your speech, and then you go through the process of writing it, the pre-process, the while writing and the post-writing of it, of the speech. And then what you need to do is to, when you write your speech, go over it, include all the things that will make your speech interesting, include quotation, include video, include references, include anecdotes and things like that. Okay, so plan your speech. When you write your speech, plan your speech well from A to Z. Imagine what's going to go into the end, how are you going to do the speech, and then when I say imagine and then visualize this thing, what you need to do is, when you want to, before you actually deliver a speech, you need to practice. You practice in front of a friend to get the response, practice in front of the mirror to get the correct impression, or the face impression, okay, the face expression, be aware of your movement, gestures, okay, body language, and so on. Of course, number 4, step 4 is to have the visual aid that to accompany you in your what do you get that in your speech. So because visual aid helps you a lot, okay, but the good rule of thumb is that do not have too many visual aid, okay, that will impede or that will distract your audience from you, okay, because the point of the speech is you and not the visual aid. All right, and number 5, this is a step of process. Number 5 is like, okay, I would say practice and practice, okay. Okay, so I think if there are the time, these are all the things that I can share with all of you yesterday and today. If there are any question, you may take the time to ask me now. Okay, I'll give you the time now. If there are any question. Okay, so remember, with anything that you, with any speech or any introduction, any communication that you have, you need to have the body, the intro, the body, and the conclusion. So everything works like that. Okay, try it out, right? Okay, if you want to do those things and a speech, then you have to remember to have a good intro, a solid intro, solid body, and conclusion. All right. So I have shared the slides with you. Maybe that could be a reference for you all to in the future to look at it, and then when you do your speech, inshallah, you will do a great job. Okay, so if there are no questions, I think this would be the end of our session and the session on mastering the public speech. All right, so with that, I'll end my session and I hand it over to Adam. All right, Adam, Mr. Chairperson. Okay, back to you.